We got to get resilient. We got to decide we're going to try and be okay if it doesn't go perfectly, if we're not the expert, if we don't get it right the first time. We're going to keep going. Okay, welcome back. It's Dr. Andrea Christian Parks here. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. This now is in the middle of our series on what really matters for permanent weight loss. I'm having such a good time with you guys on this. It's awesome. All right, so let's get into it. We have been talking for the last several weeks about multiple things. We talked about commitment. We talked about commitment to the process, commitment to self. We talked about consistency, the one that, we kind of bounce around. We don't, when it comes to weight loss, on again, off again, on again, off again. So consistency. Before I tell you about this week though, let me remind you, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Give me a thumbs up if you like what you're seeing, and hit your notifications, because once you hit your notifications, then you get your little alerts on your device when the videos come out or when the episodes show up. So, what are we talking about this week? This one is a challenge, and I think we're all in the process of learning it or running like screaming hair on fire away from it. So what am I talking about this week? This week we are talking about resiliency. And you think, oh, that's good, resiliency. Yeah, resiliency is good, but really what it is willingness to fail. Now that doesn't sound so good, right? Nobody's signing up. I'm not trying to fail. That's not the plan. I don't like that. And I don't want to fail. Not having it. Right. So that's resiliency though. You know what I'm talking about? So if you try something and it doesn't work, if you stop, that's it. That's not really resilient. That's more brittle. If you try something, it doesn't work, you try something else, it doesn't work, you try something else, it doesn't work, you keep trying, eventually you're going to get it and it will work. That is resiliency. We see this all the time in little kids. They do resiliency much better than we do. We get to our adult selves and we think, I'm supposed to do it right, I'm a grown up, I'm supposed to have this, so let me not try something that I might fail at. We stop trying exercise activity. First of all, we think we're gonna break something or hurt something, and don't nobody got time for that, so we don't do stuff like that. But I mean, think about it. If your baby, if you have big kids, when they were a baby, if your baby was like, yeah, that walking thing, I might fall. I don't think I'm gonna do that. Your 12-year-old or 20-year-old would still be in a bouncy seat. Like, that's ridiculous, right? So babies don't do that. They look and they see other people walking. They're like, I'm going to go do that. And I'm gonna fall down, and they fall down and they get up, and they fall down and they get up, and they fall down and they get up, and then eventually they stop falling down. So we don't want to fall down. If we did that when we were kids, we wouldn't learn to ride a bike. We wouldn't learn to ride on roller skates. I know I'm picking all these like physical activities. Okay, we wouldn't learn math. We wouldn't learn to write. We wouldn't learn to read, because all of it is new and challenging at first. So when you get to a place where you want to change weight, which you've been doing one way for your whole life, I mean, you've been doing diet mentality, or you've been all exercise off the pounds, or whatever you've been doing. If you're struggling with your weight right now, I'm sorry. I don't want to be harsh, but it's not working. So when we want to try something new, then we think, well, I might fail. Here's the problem. If you do nothing, nothing will change. If you don't try something new, nothing will change. So really, you're living right now in your worst case scenario, which is, I'm never going to get this weight off. You're living not having the weight off right now. It doesn't get worse than that. Yes, you could gain more. Maybe that's worse. I don't know. But really, being where you are, stuck where you are, and then you try something and fail, it's not going to be worse than where you are. So that's why we don't try, because we're afraid we're going to fail, but then we fail on purpose. Ugh. So, what do? Well, you got to get the consistency and the commitment, and we got to get resilient. We got to decide we're going to try and be okay if it doesn't go perfectly, if we're not the expert, if we don't get it right the first time. We're going to keep going. So, here's the thing. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I know it. But it's possible. Some of you all don't believe that, but I believe it for you. If you want to work with me so that you can work on your resiliency, so you can work on your commitment and your consistency, email me. My email is drandreachristianparks@gmail.com. Let's set up some time. We will do a free consultation for 1 hour, and we will get you going. Now, if we want to keep working together, we'll make that happen too. All right, I will see you next week, and we're going to talk about one more thing that you must have for permanent weight loss. I'll see you then.